Elias Symeonakis is an associate professor in Earth observation at Manchester Metropolitan University. He joins us now live from Valencia in Spain. Thank you so much for joining us here on the NewsHour. Now, millions of people are expected to be displaced if we do indeed cross that 2 degrees Celsius mark in temperatures on our planet, which would definitely result in a climate catastrophe. Just looking at how world leaders have already approached this climate crisis issue in the past, do you think that we'll witness that climate catastrophe?
I wish I could be a bit more upbeat about this, but I'm afraid we are heading towards achieving those numbers. Yeah, it's looking very bleak at the moment. So with the current predictions of the climate warming by 2.7 degrees, the numbers of people having to migrate because of the climate crisis will actually be in the order of hundreds of millions by 2050, and even reach potentially 1 billion by the end of the century. So, yes, unfortunately, this is the path we have taken, and this is the path we are on at the moment.
Paint a picture for me, if you can, of what the generations to come are potentially going to go through if they do indeed get displaced.
If we don't change path, if we don't, reach net zero emissions by 2050, the kind of lives that, especially the people in the developing South, are going to have to face are extreme droughts, crop failures, famine, flood surges, cyclones in an unprecedented level. So we already see a lot of the damage taking place, and we're all quite shocked with the images that we see in our televisions. But these are going to be much more frequent and even more powerful. So the next generations, if you're asking me about this generation in, let's say, the end of the century, if we keep on this same path we are at the moment, they're going to be dealing with not a very pleasant situation, I have to say, and migration due to the problems caused by the climate crisis will be a very common and frequent necessity for them.
Right. I want to talk a bit about this pledge that 122 leaders have signed on reversing deforestation. How significant of a pledge is this in taking that crucial step towards saving the planet?
It is extremely important. I cannot say that it isn't. I'm very, very happy that this pledge has taken place. Like many of my colleagues, though, I have said already, we fear about how pledges don't always become policies. And so even though this specific pledge has on board all the big names in terms of minimizing deforestation and getting rid of deforestation by 2030, including Brazil and Australia, etc., we still are in the very first stages of seeing. We need to see more action, basically. So the pledge is very good. There are a lot of finance details about how countries that are in the developing South and are hotspots of the deforestation issue will need support, right. And that is very important. So yes, we are very hopeful that this pledge has been made, but we need actions as well.
Definitely. Elias Symeonakis, thank you so much for joining us here on the NewsHour. We really appreciate it.